Hi everyone, it's Malva. I am super happy to be here with you because today is a very special webinar for me. I have Dr. Anita Lee with us today, and she's going to have a webinar with you about how to conquer your time. So, everybody has a story, and we are very keen on learning your story. So, before we start the webinar, Ankita, can I ask you please introduce yourself to us?
Sure. Thank you so much, Malva, for having me. I am Dr. Anita Lee. I am from the great state of Alabama in the United States. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of three. I'm also a doctor of physical therapy and a wellness coach for busy moms, especially who have toddlers and preschoolers.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there are a lot of these ladies watching us today. We're very happy to have you here. And a mom of three, well, that makes two of us. And I know looking at the people who are here, there are moms of three as well. So we're very eager to listen to what you have to say to us with and share your knowledge. Thank you for sharing it.
Absolutely. So, like I said, I'm a mom of three. I have quite a wide range right now. I have a 19-year-old who's in college, and then I have a 7-year-old son who is about to go to second grade, and then I have a 4-year-old. So I've got the whole spectrum of motherhood going on. I love every minute of it. The ups and the downs, the loud house, the college tuition, all of it.
So your webinar and your line of work is right in line with, you need your wellness and you need your time management skills.
Absolutely. And, a lot of times when we talk about time management or, conquering your time, it can seem like a huge undertaking when we look at it and we're trying to regulate that so that it's more efficient. But today we're going to kind of take a step back, and I want to address this from a place of rest and not urgency.
Go ahead. I'm all ears.
All right. So I think the number one question that all of us go through as mothers right now is, how can I get things done consistently while balancing every part of my life, right? And the answer is, there's really not a balance. We might as well kind of throw that out the window. There's no such thing as true balance, but it's really an issue with prioritizing. So Christy Wright, who is one of my business mentors, she said this quote a couple of weeks ago that just kind of stuck with me. She said, "You can do anything, but you can't do everything." So we have the ability to do anything, as far as our business is concerned, our family, our kids, making sure they're in order, but there's no way possible to get everything done. And we have to be okay with that starting off. So something that I help my clients with, I work one-on-one with mothers all over the world. And one of the things that I help them with is to focus on their top priorities in their life and to shape their calendars to reflect those priorities. So I want to give you just 3 quick things to consider when you are revamping your time and you just know that there needs to be a change that needs to take place. So here are just 3 things for you to start with, really easy. Number 1 is to define your priorities in your day. Like, what is most important to you? What are those things that when you look back and you reflect and you have those quiet times, what are those times that are most important to you? Is it social media? Is it having time with your kids? Is it, spending that time with God? Is it work? What are those top priorities? Hone in on that and really ask yourself that question. And a lot of times our calendars in our lives does not reflect that question at all.
Yeah.
We find ourselves doing the scroll. We find ourselves doing those things that really don't matter. And also ask yourself, what do you feel guilty about when you're doing that thing? So for example, I know everyone is, kind of hunkering down or, doing during the quarantine, during the season. So a lot of us are having to work at home with kids, including me. Okay.
Me too.
Yeah. So, there's some guilt there that can come as a mother because we see our poor children. They put on those puppy dog eyes. Mama, when are you going to be done with work? And so something that I've done recently within the past couple of months is that I've scheduled intentional time with each of my kids, to break during my workday. So I'll do 15 minutes with my 7-year-old and I'll do 15 minutes with my 4-year-old. And I say, hey, whatever you want to do with mommy during your 15 minutes, go for it. And they get really excited about it. And that's just something to help, break up my time and also to just show compassion. I got one right here creeping up.
Hi.
Say hey. Give me 1 second, baby. So just having that in place has helped us as we've gotten through this as well. All right, number 2 is to forgive yourself and show yourself grace if you don't complete everything on your task list. So we, as mothers, we are our worst critics sometimes. And we hold ourselves to these high standards and super mom and all these things. Listen, we've got to give ourselves grace. We've got to show ourselves and forgive ourselves if everything on our task list is not complete. It is okay. It is okay. Kids are unpredictable. That makes life unpredictable as well. So really have a heart of gratitude. There is a scripture that I like. It's 1 Thessalonians 5:18, and it says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. So even in those moments where you're like, I want to pull my hair out, give thanks in those moments because it could be worse than what you're going through. And it's just good to have a heart of gratitude. In every situation. I've just found that to be a fact. I found that to be true in my life. Also, be intentional about taking care of yourself. That is so huge. Be intentional about taking care of yourself. One of the game changers that has helped me in the past 2 years of starting and launching a business and also running a household has been implementing a rhythm of rest and a rhythm of Sabbath. And my husband will tell you on Saturday or Sunday, I'll shut it down. I say, okay, mommy's about to go have, some mommy time and, keep the kids for me. Let me just go. Let me read a book, take a nap, just basic things that refresh me. And it has also, in refreshing myself, it has refreshed my family because I'm not so short with them and I'm not snapping at them. So, really implementing that rhythm of rest. Also, every day there's something that I like to do in the mornings is just before the kids wake up, just having that 30 minutes of quiet time. I get to read my Bible. I get to pray. I get to just be.
Yeah.
Just be, not cleaning up anything. So that has really refreshed my motherhood and really been able to also refresh my relationship with my husband. Because let's face it, when we're feeling on the inside and when we're not in the place where we need to be, we're going to lash out on our kids and our husband, the people that are closest to us. So those are my 3. Just to run down real quick again, define your priorities, write those out. What is most important to you? Number 2 was forgive yourself when you can't get all of the things done that are on your task list. And the third one was be intentional about taking care of yourself and especially your mental health during this time.
Yeah. I find that I'm, nodding my head to whatever you're saying because I agree with 100% of the words that you've said. And actually, I love the idea of you saying, set your priorities. And on one hand, you hear that left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But the second thing that you said that kind of made me think, although I think I'm good at prioritizing, does your calendar actually reflect your priorities? So the fact that you prioritize, that is one thing, but actually putting it in practice is another. And then reflecting on it, well, have I really put it in practice? Do
Right.
I really have those things in the calendar looking 1 week back, is something that even had me thinking, okay, let me go back and see if my calendar is actually reflecting my priorities that I think that I have straight. And another thing
So
that,
true.
which is I totally understand, I think it was point number two. You said that it's quite important to have your me time, mommy time, or your own grace time. I call them mindful me moments when I say, mommy needs her coffee.
Yeah.
So, the kids then know, walk away, just walk away. And it's not that I'm being rude about it. Absolutely
Right.
not. I'm just saying, mommy needs her coffee. Like, you guys are fine. And
You're fine.
it takes some practice both for you to give yourself that grace and say, I'm entitled to that. But on the other hand, it takes practice from your kids to actually say, okay, mommy doesn't have to be there when I snap my fingers. And that is something that will teach your kids patience and, in the long run, gratitude to when you do show up, as opposed to it's a given.
That's so good. I love it. And like you said, it's gonna take a second. If you are new at that, doing that and being doing that communication with your kids, it's gonna be weird a little bit, and you're gonna sometimes that little mom guilt's gonna come on. But I just want to encourage you to stay strong. Stay strong in it. Your kids are fine. Like they can be okay without you, for 10 minutes. Find something that for them to do independently, so that they can, entertain themselves while you take that break.
Yeah. Do you have a pattern? Like, do you have a pattern in your life where you specifically have, quote unquote, trained your kids that this is the time when it's mommy's time, or you just take it as you need it?
I kind of take it as I need it. Like I said, the mornings since COVID-19, things have shifted. So right now, before my kids wake up, that's when I really have that alone time with the Lord, and I get that quiet time on a daily basis. Of course, emergencies come, kids throw up, all that jazz, and I might have to move my time. So it just depends, but I try to get that rhythm in my life so that I can always have that to go back to. And so just in case something does come up, I know how to shift it. I know how to be flexible. I know how to move it around. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. You said that you work with a lot of moms and you help them implement that. What is a tip of that from your perspective, and from, you're the coach and you're helping others. You know that it works for you, but your kids are trained and so are you. What are the baby steps that someone can take to actually prioritize, make the calendar reflect that, make sure that they don't feel the guilt, and make sure that they take the mommy me time? Like, what are the baby steps that someone can do when they have never done it before?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's exactly what I do. And I have a course called Time is in Your Favor. And it just makes you more confident to take control of your life and to do the things that matter most. And how we start out actually is writing out your day, like a diary. I have my mom's to write out an actual diary of everything that they do with their hours, including sleep. So if you sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., write it down. Wake up, write it down. Start, then you can visualize and actually see where you're putting those hours and what you're doing with your minutes. And even that in itself is eye-opening. And so from there, we go through a time blocking exercise, and we go through, I have them to write out those priorities like we explained in number one. What are just those top 5 priorities that you need to get done every day? And as you continue to write that in, you'll see how easy it is, because most days of the week kind of repeat themselves, unless you have appointments and, of course, spare the moment things. But for the most part, it's going to be the same. And so once they realize that, it's like, okay, game on. Like, I could do this. Like, I can fit in an exercise. I can fit in a 30-minute walk. Because everyone has the same 24 hours. So that's a baby step. Writing out all of the things that you do exactly with your time. That's step number one. And then honing in on those priorities so that you can make sure that you get those things in every day.
Okay. When you say blocking out exercise, what does that mean? Can you explain that to us a little more?
Sure. So I take my clients through time blocking, and I don't teach it. When you research time blocking from a business perspective, I don't think they had moms in mind because
Yes.
because we can't. It's so unpredictable. So what I do, those priorities, as far as your fitness goals, maybe you do have a fitness goal and you want to lose weight. So that has to be in your schedule. Okay. So when you're time blocking and when you're writing out beside, say for instance, 11 to 12 o'clock every day, you're going to write down exercise, or you're going to write down walking with the kids, pushing the stroller. Now you have intentionally put that in your calendar. You're going to you're going to see it. You're going to put action behind it. It's going to become a habit the more you keep doing it. And that's the ultimate goal, is to do things in a way so that it's a habit and it's just second nature. You're not really thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So a lot of the things that, because and so the people that are listening to this webinar know that I'm a half and half kind of coach. So I do half business and half parenting.
Yes.
And like you said, some of the things that people have said for business people, they don't even really think about moms or parents and dads
Right.
as well, because like you said, kids are unpredictable. And with the prioritizing, when you talk about priorities, you can think about what is important, what is urgent, what is not important, what is not urgent. But it seems a little bit complicated at times when it comes to kids, because from the kids' perspective, everything is important and everything is urgent, even if it's just a snail walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So how do I, as a mom, taking into account that I've got my kids whose everything is on fire because of their urgency, how do I balance what is the priority then?
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate question right there. I think it's also just using your mother's intuition. When God created moms, he put everything that we need in order to make those decisions there. Like, we have those gifts to do that. And so I really want to empower you as a mom. You have what it takes, to make those quick decisions. Of course, like I said earlier, as far as business is concerned, I think it's important that you do put that in a time span, and don't allow that to just kind of linger on throughout the day. I felt that when I let it linger on throughout the day, I was more short with my children. frustrated because I was never accomplishing anything. So what I did, I brought it into like 1 hour chunks here and there. So then I would have that time of consistency and working, and it doesn't have to be business, because everyone isn't a business owner. Even if you're just cleaning, working on cleaning the house or cleaning up a certain room, doing those short spurts of time will help you so that that frustration won't come. So if Anaya, my little baby girl, comes and says, "Hey mom, come look at this," like I can stop for a second and go look at that and jump back in if I need to. Or I can just do like I just did. I just gave them the one. That means give me 1 minute. I'm almost finished. And so yeah, use that mother's intuitions that God has always given us, and be empowered in that.
Yeah, very true. And last but not least, you said that we as moms shouldn't feel guilt, but it has a talent of creeping back in. How do you manage with yourself and with your coachees to actually relieve yourself from that mommy guilt of having those mindful me moments?
I don't think that the guilt. I think that I don't think the guilt is the issue. I think it's the source of the guilt that's the issue. Like what is the source of the guilt? So just kind of self-reflecting and asking yourself, like, why am I feeling guilty in this moment? Um, I think guilt is necessary sometimes. Like I said, when you are spending 30 minutes scrolling Facebook aimlessly, and your little baby is like, "Mama, mama, mama," you should feel a little guilty. That's a cue of you need to redirect your time. However, one thing that I do help my clients to see is that you are in this season of motherhood only for a short time.
Yeah.
We have to realize that, and there has to be a balance and letting them know, like, hey, right now mommy's working, but I want to get with you in just a second. And just, like I said, in that, I think it was the number two or number three, just being intentional with having that one-on-one time with each child will help you to relieve you of that guilt, because you're getting that time in with them, and you're also taking care of business so that you can help provide for your family, because they need to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There was research. I don't know if you've read it, but it was kind of eye-opening for me. If you take all of the tips and tricks and insights and the must-have and must-be's of every single scientist, you need 8 hours of sleep, you need an hour of meditation, prayer, you need to eat properly, you need to exercise, you need to have family time, you need to have time in nature, you need to have time to give back, and so on and so forth. Of course, all of these things are important, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put them all in one day, because should you put them all in one day, scientists have found out that you would only have 18 minutes of your 24-hour time span for work. And like you said, you need to put food on the table. So you can't do everything together. And that was your Miss Wright's comment at the very beginning, that quote that you said, that you can do everything, just not at the same time, which is, an eye opener for a few. And of course, one for me as well, because yes, I am a lot of things, but I don't have to be everything to everyone at the same time.
Amen.
And amen, exactly. And as a mom of three, you sometimes think that. So I say to my kids, there is one of me and three of you. Be patient, please.
Yes.
I'm trying my best, which doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you do have to give your all, as much as you can, to your kids at a given time, like you said, because you have to be intentional.
So good. Yes. And also it depends on what your definition of success is. because you can't take a cookie cutter approach, and that's what I explain to a lot of my mom clients. Like, there is no just one mom formula that everyone has to apply to your life. Everyone is in different seasons of motherhood that might require a little bit more. If you have an infant on your hip, you're going to have to shift your time blocks a little bit because that baby's going to be more demanding. And maybe you have to shift to just doing one hour at a time for your business during their nap time. So just being able to be flexible and not, getting into that comparison that we like to do a lot of times as moms. We see so-and-so doing this on Instagram. Listen, so-and-so does not have your life. Yeah. So, fit it to what you need, what your family needs during that season of motherhood. So important.
Exactly. Well, just one of the things that I had done at the very beginning of this conversation, I compared myself to you, thinking, yay, moms of three, A lot of times, if you don't know what to do with a task, give it to a mom of three up, because she'll know how to fit it into her day. So yeah, that we are like night and day, from two different areas of the globe. You have children with a big time span. I've got children together, but yet we are in this to help moms and parents, because I just work with dads. So moms and dads, and you work with moms, to kind of realize that, although parenting can be amazing, it also is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. Yeah, you can do it with a coach like me and Dr. Anita. So I am super, super happy that you were here. I am very pleased to be able to have learned from you, and so are the parents and the attendees of this webinar. Thank you very much for coming along and sharing your knowledge. I really enjoyed this chat.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed you as well, and I just appreciate your heart to serve. And I've told you this before. We've had other conversations. Your heart to serve is contagious. And I pray that I'm giving my clients, 110%, just like you are. So thank you so much for serving mothers. We need it during this time. We need it all over the world. So I just appreciate this platform.
Thank you very much. I am super happy to give everyone the links to your contacts should they want to also contact you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you everyone for watching. Till next week, and I hope that one day you'd like to come and visit us again.
Absolutely. Have a great one.
Take care. Say hello to your children from us.
I will.
Bye.